Hello, I'm Josh.
Hello, I'm Chloe.
We are Melandrajacks and we're here today in miniature form as part of Little Libraries, our new installation as part of Manchester City of Literature's Festival of Libraries 2022.
This installation is one of 5 different installations that are going to be popping up around Greater Manchester. And if you want to hear anything more about the festival itself or about Melandrajacks, then you can scan the QR code and it'll take you to a page where you can read all about it.
Thanks very much, and enjoy the 3 stories we've got today from Oldham residents talking about their relationship with the libraries and just generally a little bit about them. Thanks very much for watching. We'll leave you to it.
Hello, my name's Jane Mystery. I've lived in Oldham now for over 30 years and I've been coming to this library for over about 20 years. What I love about reading books is the information it gives you, and you've got a range of books really for young children all the way up to adults, and some educational, some are social books and some are about history as well. Why the library is important to the community. It's a place for people to go, especially if you're on your own, and they have lots of resources here. For me personally, as I've got older, it's helped me with my business, so they've got Build a Business here. I've also been shown by members of staff how to use some of like data research and marketing, and they have regular monthly networking meetings like the Huddle, and recently I've also, through these meetings, got in touch with the Growth Hub, Enterprising You and Action Together, who have all been very helpful for me with my business. And also within the community, with the library, something I've always wanted to do is have a pop-in session for people with dementia. So with Dementia UK, I'm a voluntary ambassador, and with Oldham Library we've become a partnership, and we will soon in May be opening a cafe for people to come on monthly sessions, so I'm quite excited about that. What's my favourite book from the past? I suppose it's one of mine and my son's favourite book, and that's The Very Hungry Caterpillar, which I think everyone's very familiar with. A book I'm reading at the moment, it's called Good Vibes and Good Lives, and that's because my business is all around wellness. So that's what I'm interested in. So that's what I'm reading at the moment.
Hello, my name's Janet. I'm retired, but I hopefully keep myself occupied with lots of different activities. I forgot what to say. The reason I'm in this library is that I attend a knit and natter group at the library, so I come here once a week. My local library is Delft Library, which is a community-run library with assistance from Oldham Libraries. What I love about reading, I much prefer to have a physical book in my hands rather than using a screen, which a lot of people do these days. I find it is something I like to do before I go to sleep at night. It sort of settles me down and takes me out of myself, takes you into a different world, I think, reading. Regarding libraries and the importance into communities is they're not just for books. There are numerous groups that meet in libraries, particularly in our local little library in Delft. They have a bounce and rhyme session for small children, which is really well attended. They're starting an older choose and chat group for older people to come and choose books and chat and have a cup of tea. There's a reading group, and the library is used basically for lots of different purposes. The library here has been very welcoming to our knit and natter group, in that at one point we didn't have a home, or we had to pay for it, and a lot of people couldn't afford to keep paying to come. So they now let us use the library space free, and it's been really good, A, because we are able to meet people that we wouldn't otherwise come into contact with, and they all have different skills regarding knitting, crocheting, sewing, which they can pass on to each other. My favourite book from the past is probably come from my mother, who was absolutely mad keen on Beatrix Potter. So I read a lot of Beatrix Potter when I was young. And my favourite story from that is The Tale of Gloucester, which I'm looking forward to shortly, well, in a year or two, reading to my 2 twin granddaughters who are currently 11 months, because I think it's such a lovely story. Currently, I've been reminded of one of my favourite books, which is Notes from a Small Island by Bill Bryson, because it is just so incredibly funny. And the time he came over from America to England is a time when I was growing up, so a lot of it's sort of relevant. Things were very different in those days. And it's just something that completely takes you away from all the rather depressing news there is at the moment, and literally can make you laugh out loud. I think that's about it. Thank you.
I'm Mr. Roy Rogerson with the G, and I'm very fond of the countryside. I love to be out in the country, listen to the birds, instead of somebody swearing and cursing. And I'm a peaceful guy. I like to get on with people, and I usually do, actually, because for quite a while in my life I worked at Butlins at Patelli, and all I did was take food around the camp, but at night I used to do other jobs like selling candy floss and slush, and it was quite a laugh. I enjoyed it. One of the best jobs of my life. My last job was for McLean's Builders, and it was a good wage, but one day I was sorting my tattle out in the warehouse, and a bay window fell onto my ear, so my ear nearly came off. I had to have it, go to the hospital and have it sewn back on. So I packed the job in.
And what's your sort of relationship with reading and books and stuff in your life?
Well, I like reading RSPB books, anything to do with animals, countryside. I just love it. I like to be out there and listen to birds twittering, and oh, it's beautiful. All I can hear from my home when I open the windows, which I normally do in the morning, let the fresh air in, I can hear the pigeons and the magpies. Whoa, what a racket.
Do you think that libraries like this are important to the community?
Oh, definitely. Yes. I mean, I've only got one eye, and I was born like that. And so I don't do a lot of reading, because I always think it's a strain on my eye. Although, when I used to drive, I used to see signposts before my wife did. So,
what's good about libraries like this and the one that you're in this morning as well? What's good about them?
well, I used to go to Fitnell Library a lot at one time because there was nice ladies there and they're very helpful, and I liked it. But since the new library's been built, I was put off by it being like a kindergarten because there was a lot of noise, and I don't like a lot of noise, although I should be, because I used to play in dance bands and groups, and there was I in the noise, you know. But it's all been a good life. It really has.
And talking about, I suppose music there, but stories and your favourite stories or your favourite books and stuff, what comes to mind when we ask that?
Right. You've asked for it. I am a very fond follower of Glenn Miller. I know he's dead, but I joined the Herb Miller Appreciation Society, and at one time in my life I used to run these two ladies about in uniform. I had the English uniform, they had the American, and we used to sell CDs, DVDs, programs, life stories of Glenn Miller and Herb Miller, and we used to go and listen. When we'd finished on the stall, we used to go and listen to John Miller and his orchestra, and when it was interval we used to go in the back room with them and have a natter. And what a game. Oh, smashing. Just my piece of meat it was. Oh, we loved it. We used to go all over. We used to go down Doncaster, Sheffield, Southport, Manchester. Somewhere in the albums, there's photos of it.
Fantastic.
You know, I suppose I'm a queer guy, but I love quietness and good music. Andre Rio is one of my favourites now. Oh, very, very good. I mean, he's magic. He's absolutely magic. I used to play double bass, but sorry to say, I couldn't read music. I was what they call an illegitimate bass player. But I started off playing at the Inskip League of Friendship on Clegg Street in Oldham. And my mother used to go. And what happened was, my father used to play double bass. He played violin as well. But when he was booked, when they phoned up for him, and he was already booked, I used to borrow one of his dress suits and the bow tie and one of his basses and go playing for him instead of him. And when I first started, it was 10 bob a night. 10 bob a night. That's 50p.
Fantastic. Well, for this bit now, if you stand up and walk over to this section. Over here. Yeah, here it is. Fantastic. That's great.